Hello and welcome to the Listening Post's unboxing channel on YouTube. Now on this channel it's not unusual for me to revisit a few quirky or cool products, or try my hardest to be the first to see some new products. Well, this one's cool and new. It's the PSB AM3, their active monitoring speakers. PSB has done an amazing job of their P3 bookshelf, little compact, tiny bookshelf speaker, prestigious in sound, and their slightly larger P5. Well, these are their active monitor version, stunningly featured, and you'll see amazing sound quality, already getting rave reviews. So it's wonderful to share it so early, brand new to New Zealand, yet so awesome to be able to have something quirky, exciting and new all at the same time. So let's have a look. PSB. Okay, PSB, Canadian brand. These speakers are designed and engineered in Canada. They're made in China. That's okay. The packaging is very muted on one end. There we go, one end. We've got scan information associated with a model, serial number and other things along those lines. These are simply taped closed, so very, very straightforward as far as opening. Directly underneath, and why you need to be careful kind of opening these if you're using a craft knife, is the accessory pack. A simple enough nick or two reveals the basic setup guide. It's in colour and it shows the way that you're going to plug and unplug a few things, along with highlighting stuff like the Bluetooth and Bluetooth status lights. There is a plastic bag, and in that plastic bag is their remote control. Now this is a little remote control, it's as good as you might need. Please hang around for some photographs, I'll take some close-ups. There's an external plug pack, and this is because of course the speakers need a lot more current than a traditional sort of wall wart might deliver. So this sort of a laptop power supply kind of size power supply, delivering 19 volts, 31.5 amps, so obviously very well designed. In here also is a couple of power cords. Both are useless to me. They are a cloverleaf power cable, highlighting the fact that we were sent a couple of power cables separately, so obviously we'll end up opening a few things and throwing a New Zealand one in. There's some basic speaker cable. Now that's because classically there's going to be a master and a slave as far as the design. One of them where you plug everything in, and it's got the amplification for the other speaker. Now this one is a 2x35 watt amplifier, so obviously 35 watts a channel, stereo amplifier in one speaker, then of course out to drive the next. This, I don't know, let's say 16 gauge roughly speaker cable, clearly labelled red and black, obviously, and then they're nicely tinned with solder on the ends to ensure a clean fit on both of the speakers. There's a set of AAA batteries, obviously for the remote control, and there's not one but two sets of little rubber feet. These are stick-ons, optional of course, ideal if it's going on a desk. Okay. There's also a pretty damn good 3.5mm cable. It's because the unit of course has a 3.5mm input, and it's a nice way of plugging basic devices like an MP3 player or a cell phone directly into the speakers. Now, the next step is probably best done by pulling the box off the speaker and getting rid of that, and then starting to have a look at these products. Now firstly, a simple nick opens the plastic bag, and we see firstly just how compact these speakers are. They resemble almost entirely the footprint of the compact PSB P3s, their little bookshelves. Okay, so very compact as far as their size. Like the P3s, they have the tweeter at the bottom, and then a beautiful mid-bass driver above. The passive speakers, the one with none of the goodies on board, is a rudimentary design which emulates almost entirely, as I implied, the P3 bookshelf. The grille, which is steel, attaches beautifully with the magnets on the inside of the box. Moving on to the more fun side of things, we see the next unit. Now again, the grille is removable, but again, hang around for some photos. There's a couple of holes in that grille designed to allow the grille to be on and have the volume control and controller here and IR sensor away from the grille itself. Again, tweeter and mid-bass driver, but also discreetly hidden behind the grille is a tricolour LED. The speaker itself isn't very heavy. It's sort of semi-compact, and it's got a good build to it, but clearly this doesn't have some overbearing large amplifier on board. Again, about 35 watts, so it's more than enough to drive these speakers with confidence, but not so much that it's going to end up with not really sort of too loud for the space that you might put them in. You can kind of see these speakers beside a laptop computer or a desktop computer, or maybe providing music in a modest space. Nevertheless, looking at the back. Firstly, the back plate is steel, and with that provides a little bit of a heat sink for the amplification chipsets that are on board. It's got an auxiliary input for a 3.5mm. Beneath that is an optical digital input. Beneath that is USB. Now that's a USB mini. There's a subwoofer output, and then a 5-volt power supply. So this USB is designed to power or charge something. It is not designed as an input. Beneath the USB is the binding post for the output of this amplifier to go to the next speaker. The binding posts are those classic 5-way, and of course you can remove the little plastic clips at any stage and discard them, or keep them in if you need to. Beneath there is a small port. It's ideal for the compact nature of the speaker. Then off to one side we have the Bluetooth pairing button. Pushing and holding puts it into pairing mode, and it'll pop up on your phone for the Bluetooth receiver. You've got the 19-volt input from the plug pack, and above it, and unusually, you've got a ground. The unit has a phono input instead of a traditional left and right analog. For those plugging in analog inputs, traditional stuff, you'd use the 3.5mm. This is a dedicated phono input. The ground, of course, is there to earth it, to ensure that if this is in a compact stereo environment, this kind of product can plug directly into your turntable and sound brilliant. So, there we have it. PSB's brand new AM3 compact active monitoring speaker, unboxed here at the Listening Post in Christchurch, New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel.